Judd, Linda Davis, and Kimberly Locke from American Idol Wednesday.
Tonight's headlines. Mideast Peace Summit begins with some new progress. Federal prosecutors seeking criminal indictment of Martha Stewart. Also tonight, after 3 years of falling stock prices, why is CEO pay getting even bigger? Federal safety officials say new restrictions are needed on young drivers using cell phones. And Eye on America, this young girl was forced to give up her dog. She says she's a victim of a new kind of insurance company discrimination.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. For America's roadmap to peace in the Middle East tonight, it's so far so good. At a meeting today in Egypt, President Bush got the verbal support he wanted from Arab leaders. The president's next stop is Jordan, where tomorrow the Israeli and Palestinian prime ministers each will pledge concessions to give peace a chance. Then comes the hard part, turning hopes and promises into reality. CBS's John Roberts reports from the site of today's conference, Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.
It was just a start, but it has set in motion what many veterans of the Mideast peace process believe is an unprecedented opportunity.
America is committed, and I am committed, to helping all the parties to reach the hard and heroic decisions that will lead to peace.
They aren't yet willing to cast aside their old ally Yasser Arafat, but leading Arab states today threw their weight behind Mahmoud Abbas, the new Palestinian prime minister. And they declared they will do all they can to fight the terrorism that has derailed so many other attempts to find peace.
Being fully aware of their danger as a plague that threatens the peace and stability of the whole world.
Arab states are still skeptical that President Bush will be firm enough with Israel to reach a final agreement. Addressing summit leaders, remarks intended to be private but partially caught on videotape, Mr. Bush pointedly told the Palestinian leader he expects both sides to perform.
You, sir, have got a responsibility. We must not allow few people, a few killers, to destroy the dreams and hopes of the many. Israel's got responsibilities. Israel must deal with the settlements.
At tomorrow's Mideast summit, Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon will commit to dismantling some of those settlements and ease restrictions on Palestinian travel. At the same time, Abbas will announce new steps to rein in the suicide bombers that have terrorized Israel. It's a gamble for President Bush. Every previous attempt has failed, but no one will fault him for trying.
I think the consequences of not trying, of letting this region slide back into another cycle of violence, are far more dangerous for President Bush.
Israeli officials were enthusiastic about what they heard here. One declared Mahmoud Abbas is the great white hope. President Bush put Abbas on the world stage today. The critical question tonight, can he deliver? John Roberts, CBS News, with the president in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.
Just as Israelis question whether Abbas can make good on his pledge to stop the suicide bombings, Palestinians have their doubts about Ariel Sharon's ability, even his willingness, to rein in Jewish settlers in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. CBS's Richard Roth has that part of the story.
With its 35 families and 40 trailers on a windy hilltop, this Jewish outpost called Migron is a year old and could be among the first big bumps on the roadmap.
Huge outpost.
And Dror Etkes, who monitors settlement activity for the Israeli group Peace Now, says the West Bank's dotted with 100 more.
Up on the hill there. Yeah, it's a huge one.
Some outposts have sprouted alongside old, well-established settlements. Others occupy new ground near Palestinian villages. Most are illegal, and the roadmap requires Israel to remove them. No one thinks that'll be easy.
To uproot ourselves from this concept that we can go on and rule over
the life of 3.5 million Palestinians is indeed a very painful process.
All that's bloomed in this desert outpost is a hill with second-hand trailers and a sentry keeping watch. You can't tell me a little bit about what life is like here?
I don't want to talk.
But outpost residents are among the most private Israeli settlers and the most committed. The argument is that if Israel's not willing to show good faith by dismantling even a place like this, it's in no position to demand tough measures from the Palestinian side. But the last time the Israeli government tried to uproot an outpost, settlers fought against soldiers hand and fist. And Israeli TV tonight showed an unsettling preview of the settlement problem getting worse. An outpost going up on the eve of the Aqaba summit. So new it's as makeshift as its name, Hill 26. Richard Roth, CBS News on the West Bank.
In Iraq today, yet another deadly ambush of U.S. troops. It happened in a town about 50 miles north of Baghdad. Troops of the U.S. 4th Infantry Division were on patrol last night when attackers in hiding opened fire with small arms and rocket-propelled grenades. One American soldier was shot and died a short time later. In Saudi Arabia, a newspaper reported that police investigating last month's suicide bombings in Riyadh shot and killed a suspect after a weekend chase. The Saudi paper said the man was carrying a letter written in December and purportedly signed by Osama bin Laden. And in Detroit today, a federal jury convicted 2 Arab immigrants of conspiring to aid terrorists plotting attacks in the United States. A 3rd suspect was convicted of fraud. A 4th was acquitted. A new poll released today finds the war in Iraq has pushed support for the United States in Muslim countries to new lows. The Pew Global Attitude Survey, conducted in 20 countries, also concluded that many Muslims rate Osama bin Laden at or near the top among world leaders. One of this country's best-known businesswomen has been officially notified now that federal prosecutors are looking to indict her on criminal charges in the M-Clone Company stock insider trading case. Martha Stewart swears she did nothing wrong. CBS's Jim Acosta has the story.
A source familiar with the case tells CBS News an indictment against Martha Stewart could come by the end of the week.
One of my favorite wedding gifts.
Today, the Queen of Good Taste skipped her company's closed shareholder meeting, instead serving up a videotaped statement expressing regret for her absence.
A number of shareholders expressed strong statements of support for Martha in these difficult personal times.
Federal prosecutors and SEC investigators suspect Stewart engaged in insider trading when she dumped thousands of shares of M-Clone just before the company took a nosedive. The chairman of the House Congressional Committee investigating the sale, Jim Greenwood, says Stewart also engaged in a cover-up.
We felt in our committee she was not honest with us, and it is clear to me that she was not honest with the Justice Department.
Her lawyer is promising a fight to the finish. If Martha Stewart is indicted, as statement reads, she intends to declare her innocence and proceed to trial.
Yeah, she's definitely a fighter. There's no question about that.
If the case gets that far, biographer Christopher Byron is predicting an O.J. Simpson-sized court spectacle, completing the saga of a woman rising from obscurity to the top of Wall Street, only to become the big fish the feds want in the hunt for corporate crooks.
This is the ruinous climax to one of the great marketing and branding careers in American business.
Stewart, whose show is syndicated by CBS News parent company Viacom, made one of her last public statements about the inquiry when she served as a contributor for The Early Show.
I think this will all be resolved in the very near future.
But the scandal has taken a toll. Stewart's stock price is down by 1/2 since the investigation started, down 15% in today's trading.
The one thing she can do at this point is clear her name, and I think that's the best thing for her to do at this point.
You think it's possible?
I think it's possible. In fact, it may even be probable.
Probable because some analysts say the government has a tough case to make. So far, the prosecution's star witness is a junior broker who's given conflicting statements to investigators. Dan?
Jim Acosta, thanks. A survey released today suggests that white-collar workers in this country are getting less frequent raises than they once did, and the raises are smaller than they expected. But as CBS News business correspondent Anthony Mason reports, that's generally not the case for top executives, even those whose companies are not performing well.
The financial services giant John Hancock had a tough 2002. Earnings down 15%. Stock price down more than 30%. But CEO David D'Alessandro saw his compensation soar from $8 million to more than $21 million. Now a Texas shareholder has sued, saying D'Alessandro and other Hancock executives
have improperly awarded themselves excessive compensation.
The company calls the suit frivolous, but attorney Jason Atkins says
they should give the money back.
With the stock market sliding and the economy slumping, those multi-million-dollar executive pay packages were expected to fall too, but they haven't.
So what you're telling me is they just don't get it?
No, they don't get it.
Putting a pinstriped pig on its cover, Fortune magazine reported that CEO pay is still out of control.
We thought we had exhausted our capacity for outrage over this stuff, but when we saw the numbers this year, we couldn't help but get outraged all over again.
Fortune's numbers show the median compensation for CEOs jumped 14% in 2002. It's now more than $13 million.
I'm amazed by how chief executives pay themselves. I'm amazed.
David Pottruck is chief executive of Charles Schwab. He believes a successful CEO should be paid well.
But when the company is suffering through declining revenues and declining stock price and declining profitability, you're laying people off. People down in the trenches are seeing their bonuses shrink. How can CEOs pay themselves $5, $10, $15 million? I don't understand it.
In fact, Pottruck has cut his own salary by 20%.
Was it your decision to take a pay cut?
Mine.
He also slashed his bonus to zero and gave back all his stock options for the past 3 years. But Pottruck is the exception.
So how do you change the psychology?
I think shareholders have to vote with their wallets. If the CEOs are greedy, sell the stock. That'll get their attention.
But after 3 years of the market going down, CEO pay just keeps going up. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan said today the U.S. economy appears to have stabilized, but it is not yet picking up steam. Greenspan did say the stock market rally indicates a, quote, fairly marked turnaround, and then indicates that the coming economy may be somewhat better. Stocks rallied on today. The Dow picked up 25 points, the NASDAQ about 13. Coming up next here on the CBS Evening News, young drivers on cell phones. The federal government thinks there ought to be a law.
A troubled economy and how it affects you. The latest on the war on terror, health issues at home and abroad. When you need to know, you need the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Don't walk. Walk. Look, it's not a difficult concept, right? Unless your back is screaming, lie down! So before the pain takes over, grab a Thermacare, that air-activated heat wrap. Open it up, it gets warm. It stays warm for 8 hours. Deeply relaxing tight muscles. So circulation flows in, helping pain flow out. Don't walk. Dance, man. Get down. There you go. Thermacare heat wraps. Wrap yourself in relief.
Yeah. Oh, hey, hi, I'm Digger. Don't mind me, I'm just a dermatophyte. You know, a nail infection. All I want is to get in here and live under your nail. You can't get me with clippers or those surface treatments you try on your own. I'm in too deep in your nail bed. I'll make myself comfortable, invite a few friends. Settle in.
Do you have thick, discolored, or flaky nails? Millions of people do. It may be caused by an active live infection. That's why you should ask your doctor about prescription-only Lamisil. Unlike surface treatments, Lamisil is a pill that works through the bloodstream to target and attack the infection at its source, underneath the nail. In fact, you can start to see clearer, healthier nails in just 3 months. Lamisil isn't for people with liver or kidney problems. Barely serious side effects in the liver or serious skin reactions have occurred, so your doctor may do blood tests. Other side effects including headache, diarrhea, indigestion, and rash were generally mild. Ask your doctor about Lamisil. It's the #1 brand for treating infected nails. Once daily Lamisil tablets. Get your nail infection where it grows.
Today, more people with diabetes are getting to know AccuCheck Compact. The one with the drum. Automatic, so you never have to handle a test strip, even when you're in the middle of something important. Compact from AccuCheck. Diabetes made easier. Life lived better.
Hey, have you called your doctor yet about the purple pill called Nexium? Well, perhaps you should wait till you get home. Find out if Nexium is right for you and visit us at purplepill.com.
Whoa, hold on, Sparky. My back is aching.
My shoulder is sore.
When you need relief, try Bayer Back and Body. It's Bayer aspirin plus a special pain relief enhancer to work effectively at the site of tough pain. Bayer Back and Body. Get moving again, pain-free.
The U.S. government's transportation safety experts are out today with an unprecedented call by the federal government to action about young drivers using cell phones. CBS News correspondent Wyatt Andrews reports what the experts want every state in the nation to do.
It's the strongest warning the federal government has ever issued on driving with a cell phone. After studying this horrendous accident on the Washington Beltway, in which a young driver using a cell phone lost control and killed 5 people, the NTSB concluded that every state should ban cell phone use by drivers carrying a learner's permit or an intermediate driver's license, which is the license some states issue to drivers under 18.
It's very important to understand that a cell phone is one of many potential distractions, and we want our drivers, especially our young drivers and our older drivers, to be safe.
Safety advocates support the proposed cell phone ban on teens, but wonder why the agency stopped there.
This recommendation should have been a flat-out ban on talking on cell phones while driving.
Supporters of a total cell phone ban say the evidence is there. From high-profile accidents like the one that almost killed supermodel Nikki Taylor to this accident that killed a Miami honor student, cell phone distraction is a documented problem.
Because talking on a cell phone leads to an accident rate that's similar to driving while drunk.
But the cell phone industry responds that as distractions go, using the cell phone ranks below adjusting the radio or sightseeing. Who is right could be determined by the government's other recommendation. It has asked the 34 states that don't do this already to start documenting the accidents and fatalities caused by the use of cell phones. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
Serial bombing murder suspect Eric Rudolph was taken today to Alabama federal court, where he pleaded not guilty to charges he set off a deadly explosion at a Birmingham abortion clinic in 1998, killing an off-duty police officer. The judge set trial for August, but that date is likely to slip. Rudolph is also charged with the murderous bombing at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, 19 illegal immigrants died in stifling heat in the back of this truck. He lived. A survivor's dramatic story next.
We don't mop together, but just about everything else. I owned the Swiffer Wet first, and then the Clorox Ready Mop came out, and I don't have my Swiffer anymore. Swiffer Wet just won't get out greasy stuff as well as the Clorox mop. With a Clorox mop, you can squirt the stuff on it, and it's done. It does it in one sweep. You can just push it at an angle, it goes around corners. It cleans it without trying. Clorox mop, hands down over the Swiffer Wet. Any day.
Post-shredded wheat is rich in whole grains and can help reduce your risk of heart disease. So it sounds as good to your ears as it does to your taste buds.
I love broccoli, peppers, garbanzos.
So why didn't you get any?
I'm worried they'll give me gas.
Ever try Beano? You take it before you eat to help prevent gas.
You take Beano?
Are you kidding? Take Beano before, and there'll be no gas.
Ask me anything about cranberries. I spent a good part of my life knee-deep in them. But when it came time to start figuring out retirement and all that, I was in over my head. I don't admit that very often. I found someone I trusted, and we put together a whole plan. Now I don't have to think about it too much. Suits me fine.
Retirement and estate planning from Mutual of Omaha. It's never too late to start planning for tomorrow. Begin today.
I'm up, but this arthritis pain.
The moment of choice. Tylenol or Advil? What do you take for arthritis pain?
Advil's the choice for me.
Truth is, only Advil liquid gels give you advanced liquid-filled capsules. Can't get that from Tylenol. Advil liquid gels rush long-lasting relief where you need it, and it's gentle on your stomach.
Oh, wow. That's great.
For fast relief, advance to Advil.
Wish your dentures were this comfortable?
Bob's denture adhesive is C-Bond.
Bought it for hold, love it for comfort.
Only C-Bond clings wall-to-wall with 3 strong adhesives in a thin velvet soft wafer. No gaps, no ooze. C-Bond, buy it for hold.
Love it for comfort.
Want cleaner dentures? Toothbrushes only have 1 head. The C-Bond denture brush has 2 to clean where toothbrushes can miss.
There are now more than 60 suspected cases of SARS in Toronto in the new and apparently growing cluster that erupted there last month. The World Health Organization said today it is, quote, monitoring the outbreak, but is not reimposing its outright advisory against unnecessary travel to Toronto, at least not now. In this country, the rush of illegal immigrants across the southern U.S. border has resulted in another deadly journey today, the second in a matter of weeks. CBS's Bob McNamara has talked to a migrant who lived to tell the tale of one such journey, even as the death toll mounts day after day.
In a Baytown, Texas freight yard, the bodies of 3 illegal immigrants were taken from a rail car. The apparent and often common cause of death, extreme heat.
In the past 5 years, over 2,000 people have died attempting to cross the border.
Looking at another season of death along America's southwest border, U.S. officials promised another crackdown today on illegals caught crossing the especially hazardous desert terrain of southern Arizona, adding more agents, more helicopter surveillance, and tougher sentences for convicted human smugglers.
If a death has resulted, life imprisonment, and even the death penalty in the United States.
Just out of federal detention, Honduran Matias Flores feels lucky to be alive.
It felt like you're burning, like you're dying, little by little.
Flores survived the deadliest illegal immigrant smuggling case in the U.S. 19 Mexicans and Hondurans died near Victoria, Texas last month when the unventilated semi-trailer alien smugglers had packed more than 70 people into turned into an airtight death trap.
There was a little boy suffocating right in front of us.
The truck driver, Tyrone Williams, is one of several people jailed on alien trafficking charges.
They like to stockpile them. The more they stockpile, the more people they get across, the more profit they make.
¿Mi hija va a estar bien?
In TV spots to air on Spanish-language stations, Hispanic families will be encouraged not to send money to south-of-the-border relatives to smuggle themselves into this country and risk death. Yet scores will not get the message. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Houston.
Next on CBS, Eye on America investigates allegations of insurance company discrimination based not on a family's background, on their dogs.
Exercise just 20 minutes a week to look like Katrina? It sounds impossible, but his workout worked for her.
20 minutes a week, once a week, and I'm seeing all these results.
Tomorrow, we'll show you the newest trend in exercise. But before you sign up, see our report on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
There's nothing like a great night's sleep. I can get an early start in the morning and go out and do something just for me. It's a really good feeling.
If you sometimes have trouble sleeping but worry about taking something, try Tylenol PM. It stops your pain and eases you into a restful night's sleep so you can wake up refreshed.
Come on, honey. It's time to get up.
I love my Tylenol PM.
This is a place you don't want to be. Not if you're plaque or stains in your teeth and deep between. Because here you'll meet the new Sonicare Elite by Philips, with patented sonic technology for a cleaning experience beyond mere bristles. Like that, only smaller. For whiter teeth and healthier gums in 28 days, guaranteed. Ask your dental professional. Stop brushing. Start Sonicare.
One shot could win it all. You could be one of 10 people that could win up to $1 million in Best Western's $10 million Sports Challenge. Visit any Best Western hotel and enter. But hurry, sweepstakes ends June 20th. So take your best shot. And you could win $1 million on national TV. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Visit bestwestern.com or call 1-800-WESTERN.
I used to be laid back about everything. Nothing's too serious for me, especially my heartburn. Sure, most days it felt like I'd swallowed a blowtorch. It wasn't serious. So what if I practically had to sleep standing up like a horse? Wasn't serious. Fine, yes, I changed my diet, I started exercising more. It helped a bit. But then one day as I was chasing my breakfast with cherry-flavored antacids, it hit me. Maybe my heartburn is serious. So I go to my doctor and she tells me I have acid reflux disease. Acid reflux disease! But then she prescribed Prevacid because it helps prevent the acid and heal the damage. So I keep doing all the right things. Take one Prevacid once a day and I can be my laid-back self. Seriously.
Prescription Prevacid actually helps prevent acid where it starts by turning off many of the pumps that produce it. Prevacid has a low occurrence of side effects such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Ask your doctor for more information and if Prevacid is right for you. Help prevent the acid with Prevacid.
In just a few minutes, the story of a troubled 12-year-old who told police he murdered his father's girlfriend. New information raises some tough questions. Story at 6.
When you apply for homeowners insurance, the company will assess your risk. How close are you to a fire hydrant? Do you have a burglar alarm? How about a smoke detector? You also might be asked about your dog. Your answer could determine whether you get insurance or not, as Richard Schlesinger reports in tonight's Eye on America.
Stay.
Diane Daly's Dalmatians have earned her ribbons at dog shows.
Best of breed.
And lost her the insurance coverage on her house.
Dalmatians were on the dangerous dog list.
Dog bites cost insurance companies more than $300 million a year.
Down.
So some ban certain breeds, including Dalmatians.
Dixie, come.
But these Dalmatians are also trained therapy dogs.
Good girl. They said it doesn't matter what they've done. They are a Dalmatian, and I won't be insured.
Animal lovers have a term for what the insurance company did. They call it breed discrimination, arbitrarily punishing all dogs of certain breeds because some are vicious. Good girl. Carter Luke of the Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals does not believe specific breeds, even pit bulls, are violent by nature.
Come on, Dublin. If we think about the importance of how an animal is raised and the animal's history and the behavior of the pet owner, those are the best ways of predicting whether or not an animal is going to be a problem.
Yep.
Diane Daly eventually got insurance. It was more expensive, but she kept her dogs and her house. 10-year-old Alicia Muzzerall and her family were not so lucky. They had to give up Sheena, the German Shepherd they had lived with and loved for 4 years.
Was she nice? I mean, was she gentle?
Yeah, she never bit anybody.
The Muzzeralls had to choose between their dog and their apartment. The management of their public housing project outside Boston started enforcing a ban on all dogs over 20 pounds.
This is a place for children. It's not a place for pets.
Mike McLaughlin is the executive director of the Housing Authority.
Children and pets frequently go together, right?
Yes, but not in this type of situation. The issue here is we have people whose health and safety and the health and safety of their children are put at risk.
So Sheena, the Muzzerall's dog, had to go back to the animal shelter.
Was she ever threatening to anybody?
No, she didn't do anything.
Yeah. Did you try and tell people that?
Yeah, and they wouldn't listen.
Alicia still cries for Sheena to this day. In Chelsea, Massachusetts, I'm Richard Schlesinger for Eye on America.
And that's part of our world tonight. Dan Rather reporting for the CBS Evening News. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, log on to cbsnews.com. Exercise 20 minutes a week to look like Katrina? The story tomorrow. Experience CBS News.
Straight ahead, some parents just don't like the school their child is zoned to go to, so they try to get around the rules. Now, school systems are fighting back.
The University of Tennessee is making some deep cuts, and it's affecting some programs here in Middle Tennessee.
And some friends are rallying around a 12-year-old boy accused of killing his father's girlfriend. The news is now.
From your news and information leader.
This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Vicki Yates is off tonight. A tractor-trailer carrying liquid hydrogen has overturned on an interstate exit and is causing a lot of problems.
10 businesses have been evacuated, including a restaurant, and a major interstate exit is now shut down. It happened at I-65 North at Long Hollow Pike, and that's in Goodlettsville. News Channel 5's Mark Bellinger is there. And Mark, is traffic flowing yet?
Kristen, traffic is flowing, but rather slowly on I-65 northbound here at Long Hollow Pike. I want to take our mobile sky cam here on top of our live truck so you can see what's going on. This is mile marker 97, I-65 northbound. That's the off-ramp, and it is shut down. And you can see traffic is slowly moving along. Both lanes are open, but those